If you want to hear DanQ8000 talk shit about YouTube, give me a hell yeah! Well, alright then, let's do that. Alright, anyway, legitimately, ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to kind of start a series entitled How YouTube Ruined. Now, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, YouTube, they're a very interesting company. Now, I'm sure a lot of people know that YouTube, well, they do some questionable things. They will change things that don't need to be changed, which ultimately ruins what doesn't need to be ruined. And I feel like there's enough topics for me to talk about them in a select amount of videos, which is why I've deemed to start this new series. Obviously, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Today, I would like to talk about subscriptions. And now, I don't mean subscribers. I don't mean the people who actually subscribe to you. I am talking about how YouTube subscriptions work. So when you go to a channel that you like and you want to watch more of their content, you hit subscribe for a reason. Well, I'm going to tell you guys why YouTube subscriptions are basically pointless at this point. Now, before we get into anything further, let's go back a few years. Let's go back to YouTube's inception in 2005. Now, YouTube, the whole video sharing idea was still very new back then, and it was more so just a way to share videos with your friends and family. That's why YouTube was created to begin with. However, as time went on, the company noticed that people could create content that people from around the world could enjoy, not just your friends and family that you see every day of your life. Now, while the idea behind the YouTube subscription has been around for a long time, it wasn't utilized and realized as an integral part of channel growth until a few years in. Around the same time that YouTube realized that you could make a living off of the site. Now, up till about 2012, I'd like to say, subscribers were a very important factor in your YouTube channel. When someone subscribed to your videos, they would get notified whenever a new video came out, and it was fantastic. It was organized, it was clean, it looked beautiful. Whenever you'd go onto your main page, you'd see a list of all the people you subscribed to, however many videos they posted more than 3. There'd be a nice single column there with their name above it. For example, let's say DanQ8000, he's posting content from this Let's Play. The first 3 videos are here, plus say 4 more. And you click there if you want to see them all. It was nice, it was on your main page, the first thing you saw when you logged in, according to what was most recent. It was fantastic. People never missed a beat. Everyone was able to watch what they wanted, whenever they wanted. It was a great time to be a part of YouTube. Now, as time went on, YouTube became a corporate monster. It became something that wasn't so much about sharing content with other people, but rather earning them dollars. Now, as we know, YouTube was bought out in 2006, late 2006, by Google. Now, even though Google has been around since 2006 in the YouTube world, which is 10 years now, we at least had a great way to share the site. A lot of people think that when Google bought out YouTube, it just became a giant mess. And honestly, there is some truth to that. However, I don't think Google realized how corporate it could become at that stage, which is why in the early years, mid-2000s to about 2010, YouTube was actually not a bad place to be or post videos on. However, like I said, in around 2013, things started going downhill. They made a whole bunch of changes. They tried to basically turn YouTube away from that whole share your videos with the world thing and make it a giant single stream of income for Google. Now, even though millions of people visited YouTube back in 2006, 2007, in the mid to late 2000s, it was not as known or as popular as it is today. You can't go anywhere without somebody who has been on YouTube, knows about YouTube, is all about YouTube, watches YouTube videos, the works. Everybody you meet watches a YouTube video at least once a day. Now, what am I exactly referring to? I'm droning on and on about facts and figures and all sorts of things about YouTube and Google and things like that, but I'm not really explaining why subscriptions are no longer relevant, why the whole term of subscribers, in my opinion, doesn't really do anything to the site anymore. Now, as I explained just now, Google wants to earn money. And now they realize, especially in the last few years, that YouTube is one of their largest sources of revenue for the company. So obviously, they want to do all they can to make as much money as they can every single year. So as we all know, they end up making changes to YouTube that a lot of people hate. For example, there's always something, and annoyingly, we never have a say in it. We just have to grit our teeth, suck it up, and get used to it, which, to be fair, we do. We get used to it, we move on. But just when we get comfortable in this new change that YouTube forces upon us, we get another one. One worse than ever, and it just brings the whole site to a standstill. Everyone bitches about it for a time, and again, we move on. The cycle continues, the cycle repeats. Now, there was one particular change that a lot of people actually didn't know, and it didn't really affect the viewer, more so it affected the content creators. As more attention was drawn to specific styles of video on YouTube, Google capitalized on this and basically changed their algorithms to suit their needs the most. Google essentially dressed it up to make it seem like everybody was going to benefit from these new changes, these new algorithms, but really, in fact, there were only select channels that would actually benefit. To take an old saying, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. However, with YouTube, the big channels get bigger, the small channels, well, they stay smaller. They don't really get any smaller, but in a way they kind of do. And I'm going to kind of explain about this and what I'm talking about with these new algorithms. Now, what I want you guys to do is go to one of your favorite YouTubers. One of your favorite YouTubers under 1 million subscribers. Now, I want you to take their subscriber count and compare it with the amount of views they get per video. Most of these people have a bit of a discrepancy in who's watching and how many people are supposed to be watching. I'm no exception. I get very sporadic views. There are people who watch every single series. There are people who watch specific series. So ergo, more series on my channel get way more attention than others do. That's just the way YouTube works. Now, if this were the golden age of YouTube, probably around 2009, 2008, I would probably be getting more consistent views than I do right now. Every single person would be notified of my videos that come out. Every single person. But Dan, what are you talking about? That's what subscriptions are for. Everyone is getting notification of your videos. They're just not watching it. While that may be the case for some people, the truth is most of my subscribers and most of tons of other YouTubers out there, their subscribers, aren't getting notified at all. Essentially what this new algorithm does is they take information on what you watch, how long you watch, and how often you watch it. Now, myself, I am subscribed to tons of people. I watch all sorts of channels, all sorts of variety. I don't watch one specific kind of video. It's always something different, and there's different people who I enjoy to watch more often than others. Now, even though I'm subscribed to these people, I actually don't get notifications that I'm subscribed to them, that they get new videos. It's silly because you'd think that being subscribed to somebody, you'd want to be told when those videos are going to be ready, when they post a new video so you can watch it. 9 times out of 10, I've found I had to remember to myself, oh, let's see what so-and-so's put out. And I go search their channel up. Sure enough, lo and behold, they have tons of videos that I was not informed of. Why is this? Well, like I said, when YouTube counts what you watch, say I watch some NBA videos. All I get in my feed is NBA, nothing else. That doesn't mean I don't have an interest in anything else. That just means I was watching NBA at that time. According to YouTube, you can only have one style of video that you want to watch and fuck everything else. Also, if I get caught up making my own content for YouTube, I may not have that much time to watch other content. Again, YouTube sees he hasn't watched these people in a while. He must not like them anymore. And that's how the algorithm sorts out the videos that it thinks you want to watch. So you can see how the subscriber count doesn't really matter in relation to who's watching. I can't rely on every single person, just like all these other YouTubers. I can't rely on the YouTube subscription service to send my videos to every single subscriber. It just doesn't happen because the algorithm doesn't work that way. YouTube wants you to watch what they want you to watch. That's why you always see these ridiculous channels you literally have no interest in. You may have never watched them once in your life, but they generate YouTube revenue. YouTube features them, throws them on the front page, does all this stuff. Now all you hear about is, stuff from prank channels. Like we don't get enough of that. Watch Mojo, their latest top 10 video of best wallpapers in movies. It's the same garbage every single day. And you have real content creators that get shoved into the bottom of the barrel and don't get the recognition they deserve. So when you get people who say, oh, you have this many subscribers and you only get this many views, you compare the numbers together, it's not a realistic comparison. Let's just say you're at a family reunion. You're speaking with 3 of your cousins. There's a group of 4 people. And the rest of your family is out having conversations, enjoying food, listening to music, whatever. The usual family reunion kind of stuff. Now, if you're in this group, would you get angry at the rest of the family for not talking to you at that same time? They don't know you're having a conversation. They don't know you're having a conversation about something maybe really important, like the baby news or something. Say you're having a kid or you're getting married. And they don't know because you're only telling these 3 people. That's YouTube telling only these 3 people when all these other people are interested in what they're posting or what they're talking about, but they won't share with them. That's how YouTube works. It tells select people because it thinks that these are the only people who are going to be interested in what you have to say. Meanwhile, all these other people really want to know what you have to say, but YouTube doesn't think they do. That's the problem with subscriptions. That's why nowadays YouTube is even more competitive, even tougher to get into than ever before. I get asked every single day, Dan, do you have any tips for me? Any tips for up-and-coming YouTubers? You know what? I used to, now I don't. There's so much competition. It's such a curveball when it comes to trying to become a big channel on YouTube anymore because they select who they want to be a big channel. It doesn't matter. I see channels with millions of subscribers get 10,000 views a video and they post every couple days. 10 million people to 10,000 views. That's a discrepancy. Do you really think that 990,000 people who subscribe to this person don't want to see their content anymore? Do you really think that? I feel like that's the same with my channel. Do you really feel like that many people, even though I get so many subscribers every day, I have the data to prove it, do you think that all those people are just going to be like, I subscribe to them, okay, I'm done, I'll just subscribe and leave? Well, I'm sure some people do that, like subscribe and then just don't think about it. But do you really, really think that that many people will subscribe on a daily and not come back? There's obviously something else at work here, and there is. It's YouTube messing with subscriptions. Pretty much nowadays, what are subscriptions? It's a pissing contest. I have this many subscribers. I have this many subscribers. When I was in elementary school, when I was a kid, we would always talk about, whatever, right? Oh, we have this video game, or we have these Pokemon cards, or we have these Crazy Bones. There's all these toys at the time, and they're like, I have it, you don't. You know what I mean? That's always what kids do. It's always just little pissing contests everywhere. What is it nowadays? These kids talk about how many subscribers they have. I have 50 subscribers. Oh, you only have 20. Suck it. You know what I mean? Like, that is the reality of YouTube today. A subscriber count means nothing than a number now. Before, that used to mean you're growing as a channel. You've got guaranteed watchers coming to your channel now. And everyone's just like, once you get to this many, it's gonna just really kick off for you. But every time a channel makes a progression in subscribers, makes a milestone, makes a step forward in their channel, YouTube comes around and stomps them back to the ground to where they started. And they gotta restart all over again. Kind of like when they do these subscriber purges. Oh, don't worry, we promise, it's only inactive subscribers. Then you have your subscribers coming to you who follow you every single day, and they watch almost every single video you put out, and they're like, yo, I was unsubscribed from you, what the hell? Why is it that channels that don't watch stay subscribed, but the ones that do watch get flooded out with the inactive accounts? YouTube really doesn't care about any of us guys. They only care about the people who make them the most money. It's a sad truth. And it's frustrating for us content creators because we work really hard to put out the best quality content that we possibly can for the viewers. So when people bring up stuff like that, they usually just don't understand how YouTube works, and that's fair because usually when you think you've got a subscriber, that person should be watching. Oh, but he's seeing your video and saying, no, I'm not gonna watch. That's not really the case. So I feel like when people bring that up on people's channels and say, oh, this, all it's doing is bringing negativity to something that we've been battling against. Something I feel needs to be moved out of the picture. Because subscribers doesn't make a damn bit of difference anymore. It's all about a slot machine. You post a video, will YouTube send it to your subscribers' feeds? Let's find out. Ching ching, ding 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 ding. maybe next time. YouTube is a very frustrating place to be. For someone who spends, most of their time on YouTube, who makes a living off of YouTube, it is very, very frustrating to have these inconsistencies all over the place. There are tons of YouTubers with followings, respectable followings, who just don't get the recognition because of this exact same thing. They don't care about that. If you don't have many millions of subscribers, you don't really matter to them. But like I said, even with people with 1 million subscribers or millions of subscribers, some of them don't get views anymore, or they do, but just not what they should be. The YouTube subscription system, right now, we're battling against it, guys. People subscribe to me, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, I'm not saying that I want people to understand that when you subscribe to me, I appreciate it, and we love that. But I can't trust the YouTube subscription system to tell you, the subscriber, that I have a new video out. It's not reliable. So if by chance most of you are watching this video, which I doubt, be sure to check. You've got to try and check your favorite content creators. You can't rely on the subscription service because it doesn't work. You could miss out on something that you've been wanting to watch. You got to remember, that's what I do. All the people I end up watching on YouTube, I have tons of people I'm subscribed to, and I will watch all of their content. It's situations where I do watch every video they put out. But YouTube thinks that because they haven't posted in a week, oh, this guy's not going to want anything he wants anymore. So it doesn't bother showing them. They never come up in my feed or my subscriber list. I have to manually search every channel that I remember. There are channels that are huge that I don't get informed about. So essentially, YouTube is creating dead subscribers, inactive accounts, by doing that. And then they purge us all. That's the problem that we're really facing right now. And it's a bitch. But just remember that, guys. It's a battle against the site itself. It's tough to become any sort of YouTuber nowadays. But to those that keep putting out content, regardless of how big your channel is, I give you a little round of applause for that. Keep that up. Because if you love what you're doing, that crap does not matter. And that's what I say. I love what I'm doing. I love interacting with the people who are willing to listen, who actually get a chance to listen. I love making the content that I do for the people who subscribe that actually get told that I put out a video. I love everybody who subscribes. I just want everybody to see what I'm posting. That's it. That's why I encourage everybody to follow me on my social medias. It's a great way to interact with me. And people are surprised when they add me or they follow me or whatever the case is, on Snapchat or Twitter, and they tweet me or they send me a snap and I reply back. They're like, you actually replied back. Yeah, that's who I am. You gotta do it for me to do it. You know what I mean? You can't just assume that I'm not. You don't know. Follow me, talk with me, chat with me. You'll actually see the content I put out too. You'll realize what kind of person I am, and a lot of the other people on YouTube, what kind of people they are. I had the pleasure to meet tons of YouTubers when I was away at E3. Fantastic people who just want to create content. They're regular human beings like everybody else. But they're not getting a fair shake. And you have people who trick the system and do all these stupid bullshit crap like pranks and all this stuff just to flood the server so that's all you ever see. You're bound to cross one of their channels. You know what I mean? That's how they think. Strength in numbers, simple data. Instead of actually working on the content, they just flush it out in drones, the same garbage day in and day out. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me. If you agree with what I said, or you didn't, let me know in the comments below. I'd like to hear your thoughts behind this. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to slap that like button. That helps out a lot too, guys. I don't think you guys realize how much hitting that like button does. Everyone's just like, oh, you don't get paid from likes. No, you don't. But you do get more attention that way. Your video might actually appear. If people like it enough, it tells the algorithm that people like this video. That's another thing. That's why people tell you to like the video. It actually gets the algorithm to deliver the video to your subscribers. It's just like Facebook. You know how if you like a page, you'd think if you liked that page, it would tell you when it puts out content or puts out like a post. But if you look at it, Facebook will charge you advertising to advertise to the people who already like your page. That's essentially what YouTube does. You want us to send the rest of your subscribers your videos? Pay us for advertising. That's literally how it works. If you look at a post on a page, it'll say 4,000 people reached, 5,000 people reached, 1,000 people reached. So essentially they only sent it to that many people, even though you have like 5, 6, 7,000 followers or more. Even if you have like 1 million followers on Facebook, only sent to 200,000 people. Why? What about those other like 800,000 people? That's how they do it. It's all about advertising, selling the product, making money. Doesn't matter. So, anyway, I droned off. I was already in the middle of the outro and I kept going on. It just pisses me off so much. It's frustrating to see that so many great people get shit on by the company that they're earning their money for. You know what I mean? It's really, really frustrating. So in closing, thank you guys so much for watching again. Be sure, if you like somebody on YouTube, don't rely on the subscription service. Go to their channel and see what they have. That's the best thing I could recommend for all channels. It's what I do whenever I watch other people's videos on YouTube. It's because subscriptions doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It's not reliable. So thanks again, guys. Give me a hell yeah if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you for more content in the future. Knox Hill, take it away, bud.
Who's the man with the plan? If you feel trouble, wild and wild on these violent and DanQ8000. Wait a minute, hold that stylish dial. Damn, goddamn Billy Jack, we still riding tires flat. I hear them sirens, see shots flying, so we driving fire back. If they ain't vibing, lie with that. Got me dressed up in all black. What up? Hood up, and I see them haters try to run with us. They gon' need inhalers. Gotta breathe them hard just like Darth Vader. Players, grab your respirators. Night invaders get lightsabered. Mask on for the shooters, move like trash to bed intruder. Got that Glock and got them woofers. Just press play, I'll keep it moving. Who is Knox Hill, you damn fools? Keep it fresh like canned food. There ain't nothing we can't do, so tune into that DanQ. Yeah. It was never, ever a game.